يحصلونه يعني من هنا هذا أجيب له حليب وبامباز والله ما أنا عارف من وين أجيب.
It is not time to tell the world leaders to realize how important education is. They already know it. Their own children are in good schools.
Thank you everyone for being here. I just want to say that you are all so gifted and talented to be able to present in
Let me ask you a simple question. Who is a child?
Attention and commitment from every member of the society. From my
According to data, in 2021, UNICEF found
Respected Chairperson of National Child Protection, Mr. Uday Kumar Amarasinghe, Director of National Child Protection Authority, Mrs. Shanika Malal-Gudu, respected project managers, leaders, and presenters, a very good evening to all of you. Across the globe, if we take South Asian region, it's just 25%, and in population, it's 627 million. In this 627 million, 36% are the children. So here we are, representing our motherland and speaking behalf of the children. I'm delighted to invite each one of you for this inaugural session of World Students' Parliament 2024. Here I'm Nutratul Islam, who is here representing Sri Lanka. I'm 10th grade student of Muslim Ladies College. I'm very happy to work with this great project, which is led by International Association for Quality Education and guided by National Child Protection Authority. So before we move on with the agenda, I would like all the presenters to switch on their videos and introduce yourself. Jalisha from Sri Lanka, please introduce yourself.
Good evening to everyone. I'm Jalisha and I'm from Sri Lanka. I'm a student of Atami International School. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Garanshi. I study in grade 10 and I'm from Coors Level School, India.
Thank
my warm greetings to everyone. I am Bhavishya Raj Mainali from Kathmandu, Nepal, and from Galaxy Public School, and I am very excited to be here today.
you. Dana from Pakistan.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Tariq from Pakistan. I'm here on behalf of Morton Edge Public School. I would like to extend my very warm welcome to every single one of you. I would really like to listen to your creative ideas.
Thank you.
Hello everyone,
and I'm representing Bangladesh, and I'm from Abak Public School.
A very good evening to all of you. I'm Tisarani Malagoda from Sri Lanka, and I'm the head prefect of Visakha Vidyalaya. Thank you.
Thank you, every presenters, for introducing yourself. So let us move on with the agenda. To begin our inauguration session of World Student Parliament, I would like to invite our chairperson of National Child Protection Authority, Mr. Uday Kumar Amarasinghe, to address the audience.
Very good evening, all of you. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank International Association for the Quality Education and all the participants of this very important event. We are really happy about this session, especially you are for all the focusing in the child protection and child rights in not only Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, and all other countries in the world. So we are very happy to help this event and guidance to the event as a National Child Protection Authority in NCPA. So we are firmly believe you can deliver your knowledge to protect all the children in all the world. So thank you very much. You are being here, and I am warmly congratulate all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Uday Kumar Amarasinghe. Now I would like to call the Director of National Child Protection Authority, Mrs. Shanika Malal-Godo.
Good evening to you all and good morning to you all, because we are working with such a big students with all those who are all over the world. I'm really happy to deliver a few words to the inaugural session of World Students Parliament. Actually speaking, we know that UNCRC has introduced in 1989. From 1989 to date, we have passed 35 years. So as children of the world, we know that child rights are very important. That's why almost all the governments has come together and work to protect the rights of the children. As you all know that we need to fulfill almost all the rights of the UNCRC. In addition to that, we know that as a country, National Child Protection Authority of Sri Lanka is dedicated to ensure the rights of the children as well as ensure the protection of all children in the country. So as a country, we are really proud of because as Sri Lanka, we are working with marginalized, vulnerable, at risk, as well as abused children. So what we need is to protect the children from all kinds of violences against children, abuses against children, neglect of the children, as well as we need to protect the rights of the children. So I really congratulate the students, those who are coming from diverse parts of the world for the inaugural session of the World Students Parliament. Especially, I would like to give my heartiest wishes to the International Association for Quality Education, those who took these tremendous efforts to make this event a success. Not only that, I just want to give my loving wishes to all speakers and all project leaders, those who are come to this and speak on behalf of your rights. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words, Mrs. Shanika Malal-Godo. And now let's move on with Miss Mariam Afonso, who is the project manager, who is from UK, to address the audience.
Hello, good evening. I just wanted to say that it is really important, the work that we are doing here today. This is about you, this is for you, and your voice needs to be captured. The things that are currently happening to very young children and young adults is critical. It's challenging and in some cases really, really devastating. So the fact that we have you here with courage, with your talent, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experiences, it really means a lot. That you are able to share your voice and feel empowered, that you are involved, you are taking initiative, and you are taking the first step in creating a better tomorrow. That maybe one day the new generation, the new children coming will remember and know some of your names, that you have started a movement for the better of tomorrow. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to hearing all of your amazing presentations.
Thank you, Ms. Miriam Afanso. And now I would like to call the project manager, Mrs. Shehwa Shoher from Sri Lanka, to address the audience.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here as I got this opportunity. And I warmly welcome all the children all over the world on this beautiful platform on this World's Children Parliament. So this is a platform where they are given an opportunity to express their views freely and talk out their opinions and show up their talents. So we from the International Association for Quality Education conduct many events parallel to the international conference, which is going to be held in Delhi, India, from the 26th to 30th. So some of the events parallelly what we conduct are spoken English sessions, then lectures on STEAM sessions, World's Teachers Parliament, and the World's Students Parliament, which is being inaugurated today. So my heartfelt thank, and I really like to thank our chairman, Mr. Uday Kumara, and our director, Ms. Ma'am Shanika Malalgoda, for being with us today and talking for us. And also this platform guides and supports all the children to empower them to make their voices ignited and express their feelings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Shehwa Shoher. And now let's move on with the agenda. So first of all, let me give you a good explanation about this program. To inaugurate World Children Parliament, this session goes under the topic of protecting the rights of children. As a child, we have 5 main rights to be followed. In 1959, the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of the Child, which defines children's right to protection, education, healthcare, shelter, and good nutrition. In that way, International Association for Quality Education has shown that this World Students' Parliament will be under main 4 categories. They are rights to development, rights to protection, rights to survival, and rights to participation. Today, it's all going to be under the main category, right to protection. So here we are, who is gathered here from across the globe to express our thoughts on the rights of a child. As much in industrialized countries as those in development, from wealthy or disadvantaged backgrounds, and whether living in a peace and security or in dangerous or emergency situations, children are victims of discrimination, abuse, and exploitation. There are many ways to protect ourselves from this kind of mental abuse, which is happening mentally and physically. Yes, there are 6 main principles of child safeguarding, which was drafted by the UK government: empowerment, protection, prevention, proportionality, partnerships, and accountability. There are many ways we can protect children. So here is 5 that I prefer you all. First, examine your behavior. Second, educate yourself and others. Third, teach children their rights. Fourth, support prevention programs. Fifth, know what child abuse is. So now let us take these steps into our mind and hear some few words from our other presenters. And next up, we have Tisarani Malalgoda from Sri Lanka, who is going to speak about the Student Ambassador Program.
Ayubowan. A very good evening to all of you. I am Tisirani Nadil Malagoda, the head prefect of Visakha Vidyalaya, and I am a student ambassador of the National Child Protection Authority of Sri Lanka. Today, I am representing 5,000 or more student ambassadors from more than 1,500 government, private, as well as international schools in the island. And today, I'm going to talk about the Student Ambassador National Program conducted by the National Child Protection Authority in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. Under this national program, a network of prefects from all corners of Sri Lanka actively participated in workshops, conferences, and community service projects, which led them to be friendly, diplomatic student ambassadors with great communication skills. Let me ask you a simple question. Who is a child? And as we all know, every human being below the age of 18 is considered as a child. Under the law, a child usually refers to an individual who is a minor, who is below legal age or the age of majority. Children of all ages have the fundamental rights to live, learn, and grow without fear of violence, abuse, neglect, exploitation, and discrimination, to survive and develop, and to have their views respected, and to have their best interest considered at all times. Then, on the other hand, child maltreatment is called child abuse. It includes physical and emotional cruelty to children, causing children to beg, hiring children to transport illegal goods like drugs and weapons are a few. Article 19 requires Sri Lanka as a signatory to the Convention on the Rights of the Child to take all appropriate legislative, administrative, social, and educational measures to protect the child from all forms of physical and mental violences. Under the National Child Protection Authority Act, number 50 of 1998, established the National Child Protection Authority for the purposes of formulating a national policy on prevention of child abuse and the protecting and treating of children who are victims. 1929 is a 24-hour call center helpline for such victims. The role of a student ambassador is to act as a bridge between the school staff, current school body, and those considering attending. It is a prime concern to build a leader who will stand for child protection and against child abuse, at the same time willing to protect children in every possible occasion. And as student ambassadors, we are always devoted and committed to safeguard the rights and safety of children. I strongly believe that by the exposure we gain at a very young age as student ambassadors will be really useful as future adults and professionals in diverse sectors. The Student Ambassador Program in Sri Lanka, it especially prepares school prefects to take up the leadership to stabilize child protection in schools and to make Sri Lankan children sensitive on child protection to someday make them grow into responsible citizens. The main objectives of the Student Ambassador Program is to create awareness on the national policy on child protection and to get the contribution of school prefects to minimize and to prevent child abuse in schools. It helps to build a child-friendly and protective environment with a responsible and accountable prefects community. Most recently, we as student ambassadors attended a panel discussion organized by the National Child Protection Authority and UNICEF Sri Lanka to spread awareness about positive and non-violent discipline and alternatives to corporal punishment. The discussion highlighted the importance of preventing corporal punishment and maintaining positive discipline. Under my leadership at Visakha Vidyalaya, I've given clear instructions to all my senior prefects not to punish a single child and to discipline students in a positive attitude. As routine duties, before school starts, senior prefects are assigned to classes to make sure the well-being of all the students. We also conducted awareness sessions on cyber safety and sexual abuse at school level. Community service projects were launched and leaflets and posters were distributed among school children. And as student ambassadors, we also donated a child-friendly post box in a rural remote school in Ratnaburi district in Sri Lanka, which was remarkably benefited in protecting child's right. Last but not least, each and every event in our school calendar, including general assemblies, religious activities, and other school functions. All the Visakhians are guided by the senior prefects under the advice of the student ambassadors. Even if they are in need of any medical attention, student ambassadors are always ready to help and direct them to the school medical authority. A counseling unit is also being established to safeguard the mental health of the students. Overall, it is clear that the Student Ambassador Program has a positive effect on the physical and mental development and well-being of the children, not only as a nation, but as a global community. I want all of you to realize the importance of letting children to grow in a world full of love, happiness, and understanding. And let me take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Shanika Malalgoda, Directress of the National Child Protection Authority of Sri Lanka, for giving me this opportunity. Mrs. Manomi Seneviratna, Principal of Visakha Vidyalaya, for being the pillar strength behind our success. And last, our dear teacher in charge of the Student Ambassador Program of Visakha Vidyalaya, Mrs. Ratnamali Dilsurya. I'm really thankful to you, Miss. With that, let me wind up. Thank you, everyone, for making this session a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tisarani Malgoda. That was nice to hear from you. And now let us move on to our other presenter, Mithasha Devanmini. Let us move on to the other presenter, Gunarshi from India.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Goranshi from India. Today, I'd like to discuss upon the threats that prevail on child protection and also some parameters that children should follow while doing online classes. When I think of a child, the image which comes to my mind is of a cheerful, playful, and free to move kid. But as I grew, I learned that this was not actually the truth. I'd like to present you a data about some practices of child abuse so that we can have a bigger view of the world scenario. According to data, in 2021, UNICEF found that 5 million kids under the age of 5 years died from preventable diseases. It could be because of lack of basic needs. These diseases like malaria, dengue, etc. were caused. So we need to make sure that children get the adequate means for living and good environment. UNICEF also said that 1 in 5 kids aged 5 to 17 years are forced into labor. Children with disabilities experience abandonment, discrimination, and exploitation. Gender bias violence for girls, it's more like sexual violence, harassment, female genital mutilation, and abuse. For boys, it goes like labor trafficking and detention. In 2022, about 13% of adults and girls gave birth before they turned 18. According to UNICEF, over 400 million kids live in countries affected by war and violence. Children also make up half of the civilians killed by landmines and explosives. So, whenever we start a war, we need to remember that it's not only the land that we harm, but also the people. Over 105,000 kids were exploited for conflicts between 2005 and 2022. Kids make up 27% of trafficking victims. 43% of transgender youth were bullied at school, while 29% attempted to suicide. We need to remember that when we talk of children, it should be all genders, no specific gender. UNICEF also said that 1 in 7 kids experience mental disorders. Now, this could be because of all these child abuses. There was a long-lasting effects on the child's mental health, and it resulted in a big depression for the kids. Child abuse is unfortunately not limited only to physical abuse, but also virtual. This is an era of technology. During COVID, we could not attend school, so we started a new tradition of online education. No doubt, it gave us immense benefits. I could sit in my room in my house and talk to teachers from all around the world. But being more online came with some more disadvantages in my life. It gave the children exposure to various virtual, harmful, illegal, age inappropriate contents like cyberbullying, cyber grooming, etc., etc. To prevent this, we need to make sure we have honest conversations with the children. Younger children should be under parental control. We should be cautious of free online resources, even educational ones. Children should be taught to never log into others' account and share their info or photos. Make sure that the devices are updated and running the latest software and the privacy settings are on. Virtual world also gives us great opportunities to voice our views and support causes that are important to us. So, introduce children to the most trustworthy sources of information to model kindness and empathy in virtual interactions. I would like to conclude my deliberation by saying children are the world's most valuable resources and the best hope for future. So therefore, it is up to us to maintain our future. I would like to thank everyone to give me this opportunity to speak here, and I'm grateful to listen your views as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Ganashe. And now let's move on to the other presenter, Raj from Nepal.
Thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to speak today on this session. According to my views, child protection is a fundamental issue that demands the utmost attention and commitment from every member of the society. From my perspective, ensuring the safety, well-being, and rights of children is not just a moral imperative, but a legal and ethical obligation that society must uphold as a whole unit. First and foremost, child protection begins with the prevention of an individual. We must invest in measures that address the root cause of harm and vulnerability in children, whether it be poverty, inequality, violence, or exploitation. By addressing these factors, we can create an environment where children can grow and thrive safely and with dignity. Furthermore, I would also like to emphasize the importance of education and awareness in the upbringing of protection of children. Education and awareness are also a key components of child protection. We must empower children's parents, educators, and individuals of community with the knowledge and skills to recognize, prevent, and respond to threats of child safety and well-being. This includes teaching children about their rights, boundaries, and how to seek help when they are in danger. Additionally, we must also strengthen child protection systems and services to ensure that children who have experienced harm and abuse receive the support and care that they need. This includes establishing accessible and child-friendly reporting mechanisms, providing psychological support and counseling to students, and facilitating access to healthcare, legal aid, and other essential services. Moreover, collaboration and partnership is essential in addressing child protection challenges effectively. The government, civil society organization, committees, and different NGOs and GOs must work together in a coordinated manner to implement child protection in various sectors of society and respond to incidents and abuse as well as exploitation of children. In conclusion, child protection is the responsibility of every individual of society. We must play our part in creating a world where every children feel safe, valued, and protected from harm. By prioritizing prevention, strengthening legal frameworks, creating laws that prevent exploitation of children, and spreading education and awareness, we can prevent the exploitation and abuse of children and eradicate this issue from our world. By strengthening children protection systems and fostering collaboration and partnership, we can build a safer and more inclusive society where children feel safe and valued regardless of their background, and we can create a society where every children can reach their fullest of potential. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Raj, for your opinion. And let's move on with the other presenter, Afif Ali from Bangladesh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you for letting me share some part of my perception on this following topic. I'm honored to represent my country and my school at this very moment, and I'm very glad to start the speech. Starting from introducing my points, I'm going to summarize the child protection and children's rights of protection and what online education has to do with it. Child protection and the rights of children are closely intertwined concepts that are essential for ensuring the well-being and safety of all children. Child protection refers to the measures taken to safeguard children from harm, exploitation, abuse, and neglect, while children's rights encompass the fundamental entitlements and freedoms that all children should enjoy, as outlined in international conventions such as the Convention on the Rights of the Child, CRC. The CRC recognizes that children have the right to protection from all forms of violence, abuse, and exploitation, referring to Article 19, the right to education, referring to Article 28, and the right to access information and participate in cultural and artistic activities, referred to Article 17. These rights are closely linked to child protection efforts, especially in the context of online education. In the digital age, online education has become increasingly important for ensuring children's access to quality education, particularly during times of crisis such as the COVID-19 pandemic. However, online education also poses unique challenges and risks to children's safety and well-being, including cyberbullying and online harassment. Children may be subjected to cyberbullying, harassment, or inappropriate behavior by peers or adults in online education environments, and also exposure to inappropriate content. Children may inadvertently come across harmful or age-inappropriate content while using online educational platform or resources. And privacy and data insecurity. Online education often involves the collection and sharing of personal data, raising concerns about children's privacy and data security. Online grooming and predation. Children may be targeted by online predators posing as teachers or classmates, leading to potential exploitation or abuse. Address this risk and uphold children's rights in the context of online education. It is essential to implement robust child protection measures, including safe online environment. Online educational platforms should be designed with safety features such as content moderation, privacy settings, and reporting mechanisms to prevent and address instances of harm or abuse. And also, we should implement digital literacy and online safety education. Children, parents, and educators should receive education and training on digital literacy and online safety practices, empowering them to navigate the online world safely and responsibly. Child-centered policies and guidelines about governments, education institutions, and online platforms should develop and enforce child-centered policies and guidelines that prioritize children's rights to safety, privacy, and protection in online educational settings. For collaboration and monitoring, stakeholders including governments, educators, parents, and technology companies should collaborate to monitor and evaluate online educational initiatives, ensuring that they adhere to child protection standards and best practices. By integrating child protection principles and children's rights into online education initiatives, we can create safer and more inclusive learning environments that empower children to access quality education while safeguarding their well-being and dignity. And again, thanks for attention.
Thank you, Afif. And let's move on with Jalisha from Sri Lanka.
Good evening to everyone. I'm Jalisha, and I'm going to talk about child protection. What is child protection? Child protection involves creating safe environments for children where they are free from abuse, neglect, exploitation, and free harm. It also includes providing support, guidance, and resources to ensure their well-being and development. Imagine a world where every child feels like they are wrapped in a warm, protective blanket, where they can giggle freely, dream big dreams, and explore the world with why I wonder. What's the kind of world we all want for our children, right? But sadly, this isn't a reality for every child. Some face scary things like abuse, neglect, or bullying. It breaks our hearts to think about it, but we can't ignore it. We need to create safe spaces where kids feel comfortable speaking up about anything that's bothering them. We need to teach them about their rights and empower them to stand up for themselves. And it's not just about protecting them from physical harm. We also need to shield them from the harmful stuff they might see or hear online, like violence or inappropriate content. So let's work together to create a world where every child feels safe, loved, and valued. It's a big job, but if we all pitch in, we can make a huge difference. Together, we can build a future where kids can laugh, play, and dream without any worries, knowing that they are surrounded by love and protection. Thank you for listening, and let's continue to be champions for children everywhere.
Thank you, Chalisha. And last but not least, we have Danal from Pakistan.
Hello everyone, good evening. As you all know, that we are under the governance of International Association for Quality Education. So we cannot possibly undermine the role education plays in protecting children. So I sort of decided to link the protection of children and online education and figured out some sort of parameters that can be taken into account to prevent children from any sort of harm or potential injuries. So I would first like you all to know the positive impacts that the online system of education has had when we were when we became a victim of COVID, and we could not possibly continue the physical and face-to-face education system. So to fill in the void, we shifted to online system of education. So, as online system of education is quite lucrative, we can also use it for our advantage to prevent also all children of all the nations across the globe from any sort of violence or any sort of exploitation. It is also essential to monitor the safety of children, as children they're gonna lead the world in the later phase. They're our future. We cannot neglect their health and physical and mental and any be it any sort of fitness. We cannot ignore their well-being. So in my view, online education does guarantee child safety to some extent, as there is no sort of physical bullying or incidents. To maintain a safe and healthy online environment that ensures safety of all the children, there are some steps that need to be taken. Parental supervision is the foremost thing that must be taken. Like the parents must monitor the activities of their children, and they should also pitch in, and they should also take due interest in protecting their children from any sort of pernicious attempts. Um, and cyberbullying is another issue that's becoming more and more aggravated with the increase of online education system and all the activities shifting to a more like digital platform. Many instances of online blackmailing have not only weakened the perspicacity of people, but also impose a much grave issue at hands. That is mental health torture through cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is an issue that must be dealt with at immediate basis. Since we have gathered here in this online discussion to discuss the positive and negative roles that the online education or the more so the online system can play in preventing children from harm and injuries. So to make it a success, I would like to state a few measures that must be taken to protect children across the globe in regard to online system of education. The first thing is parental supervision. Parents should monitor their child's online activities on regular basis. Secure platforms must be implemented to sustain the online system. Like we must shift to those platforms that ensure the well-being and safety of children. Internet safety education must be made prominent, and safe communication should be done. We must encourage the kids to communicate safely, or if they face any problem, they must report it to the concerned authorities that can take a pronounced action to handle it. Like device security should also be like a fellow mentioned before, that children should not log on to anyone's device or should not share their personal information or photos to prevent them from any sort of injury. Like also one of my fellows also mentioned the measures that were taken in the constitution of Sri Lanka to prevent child abuse. So I would also like to state a few of the measures that my country took to eradicate child abuse and to ensure child protection. Like in our legislation, we enacted some laws governing children's right and ensuring their safety. Like I believe it was in 2016 that we passed a bill that demanded the protection of all the children at utmost basis. Next, we created child protection units in various provinces. That were to look after the children's head and solve any sort of issue that the children might face in in the educational institutions or in society or in any sort of physical dimension, sorry. And another thing that we did was national action plan. The government developed a national action plan for the protection of human rights, which includes specific provisions for children protection and safety. To conclude, I would like to thank you all for your patience. And if one of you has any contradicting views, you may voice your suggestions. That will be highly appreciated. I would like to state that the child protection is incumbent upon every single one of us. Every single one of us on the face of the planet, we must work together and join hands and work in a coordinated way to put an end to child abuse and all of the related negatives. We must also not forget at any cost that all children have a right to life, have a right to voice their opinions, have a right to freedom of thought. It can be freedom of conscience, it can be freedom of religion, and the right to healthcare. And the safety of any children must never be compromised. I thank you all for your careful listenings, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dinal, and thank you so much all the presenters for speaking on behalf of your opinions. Now I would like to invite each and every speakers to give their feedback for 1 minute. Any volunteers to start off first? Okay, then I shall call Jalisha from Sri Lanka to start off with the feedback.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm thankful to perform in such platform. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jalisha. And Goranshi from India.
It was nice hearing everyone. Everyone had great views and different, so their topics were even interesting. And thank you for giving me an opportunity as well to share my views.
Thank you. And Raj from Nepal.
This was a wonderful experience and a great opportunity for me to express my views and opinions on the subject topics. I enjoyed this time in this session, and I'm happy with what I got to express, and I'm glad to hear that every presenter here has similar opinions.
And yes, now Afif from Bangladesh.
So my feeling and opinions about today's session is like the session went smoothly as though I was not as I, and I'm glad that all of our presenters are expressing their ideas without any hesitation. So here's why I think it was a great experience with all of you.
Thank you, Afif and Denal.
Yeah, certainly it was a very thought-provoking session. I liked every single one of the presenters' views. They all presented their views in a very organized and in a catching manner. And all I can say is that we must join hands to put an end to any sort of damage that the children must not endure.
Yes, Denal, thank you so much. And now I would like to invite Miss Miriam Afonso from UK, the project manager, to give us a feedback. I think she's not in the meeting, so let's move on with Mrs. Shehwar Suhail from Sri Lanka, who is the project manager for this as well, to give us a feedback.
So hi everyone. So I would like to thank and congratulate each and every presenter here today who actually voiced out their most suppressed suggestions and contributed to the opinions and ignited the challenges. So congratulations everyone. You all really did it and made our association proud. And really it was such a wonderful session today. Thank you so much everyone.
Thank you, Mrs. Shahbaz Shahir. And now I would like to call the chairperson of National Child Protection Authority, Mr. Uday Kumar Amarasinghe, to give us a feedback on our session.
So thank you very much, everyone again. Actually, I want to extend my heartiest congratulations and in this very good and very important event. So we hope as a National Child Protection Authority in Sri Lanka, we hope you can carry out your ideas, thoughts, and to via protect the safe children and safe world for the children. So thank you very much again, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Uday Kumar Amarasinghe. And now I would like to ask the feedback from the Director of National Child Protection Authority, Mrs. Shanika Malalgoda.
I am really happy about your thoughts, views, and opinions are really amazing. I just want to congratulate you all, and I just want to tell you, our students, kindly study about child rights more and more, and practice child protection mechanisms and structures to your level best in each and every country. Almost all the governments have their systems to protect you all. So you want to get familiar with all these structures and procedures. In addition to that, I would like to invite you all to study about child protection policies of not of your countries, but familiar with all policies related to child protection in the world. In addition to that, I think it's very important to work to protect your colleagues, your brothers and sisters, to protect from all forms of violence against children. In addition to that, I think that you want to familiar with child helplines. For example, in Sri Lanka, National Child Protection Authority runs 1929 child helpline, which supports children to report their child abuses cases. So likewise, in your countries, I'm sure that you can speak to your child helplines too. I'm really happy and proud of you all about your thoughts and views on child protection. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would like to say a heartfelt thank to everyone who presented their opinion today. And also special thanks goes to Sir Janaka Kamalgoda, the president of the association, to setting this platform, for letting all of us here to be able to voice out today. So I think that comes to the end of our session. For me, it was a great experience as a moderator, as a presenter for today's session. I hope to become a presenter next session and to express my thoughts in the topic.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.